Epic Ménage à Trois. The final episode. The rivalry between Roxane and Hephaestion for the love of Alexander the Great became even more complicated as younger and alluring rivals emerged. However, the situation took an even darker turn as the beautiful twins were secretly plotting to assassinate Alexander. One night, Alexander saw his dead horse, Bucephalus, crying. He casually told his wife Roxane about the strange dream, but she instantly sensed that his life was in grave danger. Roxane was no longer the young, naive girl who had first arrived at court, but a regal queen who was no stranger to conspiracies. Meanwhile, Hephaestion was torn between Alexander and the White Prince, who tried to lure him away from the king. He talked about Hephaestion's unrequited love for the king, making subtle suggestions that Alexander was growing tired of Hephaestion. One day at court, Roxane imparted a vital message to Hephaestion: "You must safeguard Alexander at all costs. He needs you now more than ever." As she left, Hephaestion perceived that Roxane had sensed something amiss, but had chosen not to confront him directly. Despite his efforts to distance himself from the boy, Hephaestion gave in to temptation. However, he immediately felt shame. Hephaestion's inner turmoil continued to grow. The White Prince felt he needed to hurry with his plot and finally attempted to assassinate Alexander, but Hephaestion intervened and killed the White Prince. Hephaestion, however, was fatally wounded. As the White Prince lay dying, he confessed to Hephaestion that his love for him was genuine, despite his initial attempts to use him. The White Prince's last words caused Hephaestion to suffer even more agony. He died from both physical and mental wounds. Alexander was greatly shocked and devastated by all that had just happened. He fell into a deep abyss of despair. In the midst of chaos, the Black Princess vanished. Alexander, grieving the loss of Hephaestion, was indifferent, but Roxane was deeply concerned. She sought the oracle's advice on the fate of the empire and her own. The oracle said, "You will be the last survivor of the three. Alexander's glory will be yours. But it won't last long." Alexander, disinterested in all else, held nightly banquets until he drank himself to illness. But it was not just from overindulgence, but from the poison administered by the Black Princess, who had disguised herself among the slaves. She was executed. The Black Princess accepted her fate, grateful for avenging her mother and brother, though unable to reclaim her kingdom's lost land. Alexander did not recover. At his funeral, Roxane vowed to uphold his legacy of uniting East and West. However, the Diadochi, Alexander's generals, rejected the foreign-born queen as their new ruler. Cassander proposed a marriage to Roxane as a compromise, stating, "My lady, marrying one of us is the only way to legitimize your status." Roxane was infuriated by the proposal and demanded respect as Queen Dowager. Her refusal cost her life as she was assassinated. And with that, the era of Alexander the Great came to an end, leaving behind a trail of conquests, love and betrayals. Despite the turmoil that followed his death, Alexander's legacy as the world's first globalist continued to inspire generations to come.